Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long. I'm so glad that you have joined us today. Out of all the shows that you could be listening to right now, we're also one. I'm here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We have a really fun show lined up for you because we're going to talk about a beautiful town in France that has been around forever. It's been a very popular destination, tourist destination for a very long time. And it remains, I think even stronger now than it has been over the last few hundred years, thanks in part to social media. Has really kind of brought it back to life or brought it to a different level of at least being on the tourism radar of people in North America and the United States. And such, and it's kind of has a new life to it, but like Strasbourg, France.
Right.
It sits on the border between France and Germany, and it also has that fun history.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of an identity crisis at times if you go back a number of years for this town. And so we're going to get not only into its, trying to figure out how it came to be and everything there, but also our experience. It's one of the towns that we went to. If you listen to our Christmas market episodes, we got to go there and attend a beautiful, just gorgeous Christmas market that's right outside the Cathedral Strasbourg and everything that has to do with that. But
yeah, I was very excited to go there because, as you said, I'd seen a lot about this area, this region of France on social media, because a lot of influencers talk about fairy tale looking cities and towns, and this is one of those towns. It has that kind of Disney fairy tale feeling. And so I Googled what town was Beauty and the Beast set on, because it absolutely reminds me of this city.
Yeah.
We were there, and I thought you were going to burst into song at one point because it's just so lovely, and you're kind of just like in this moment, and you're all just like standing there kind of in awe of the architecture, and I'm like, oh, he's about to start singing. Like, we're living in a musical at the moment.
Look, man, there was one moment, where I swung around on a lamppost.
On a bridge.
A bridge. But that might have been the gin and tonics I had earlier that morning.
Could have been. But Beauty and the Beast it's rumored to be based on not necessarily this town, but a neighboring town in the same region.
Somewhere in the Alsace region.
So the architecture, the feel does have this kind of fairy tale quality to it. So I was very excited to go and see it for myself.
And a big reason that it has this fairy tale almost feel to these little towns, and it's not just Strasbourg, but Colmar and all these little towns that kind of run along the border between France and Germany, is because they do share French and German and, Alsace history and lineage. So you do have these mixes of architecture and food and culture. And that's kind of where Strasbourg's culture resonates from. It's a result of like centuries of almost border bouncing. Because at different times throughout its history, and this is a city that in 1988, I'll put it like this, 1988, Strasbourg celebrated its 2000th anniversary as a city. Okay. It is an old city. It's got lots of history. And in that time, it has belonged to, it's been independent, like an independent imperial city. It's been French. It's been German. It's been all kinds. And the people there speak French. They speak German. The older generations speak Alsace, have this Alsace dialect, and the foods are all kind of blended together as well. They share all of this history together. And so you have, along that border, you have such a really unique, almost like subculture of identity and everything else that people get to celebrate.
I think you see that a lot more in Europe because the countries are generally smaller, and they do share a lot of borders with other countries that have other languages and other cultures. Here in the U.S., it's not quite that common unless maybe you're in the southern western part of the country that's like bordering on Mexico. There's a little bit of blended culture, I would say, but you don't really see that here. But we've been to many places in Europe where we're in one city and they speak 3 or 4 different languages because it's so close to all these other countries that speak different languages, and it kind of just all fuses together.
I never felt as uneducated on world.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah. Whatever that word is. There you go.
Uncultured, maybe?
I mean, educated, because I couldn't even figure out what the word is. But when we were standing in line at that chocolate store in Brussels, and the young kid, I mean, he had to be no more than 20, 21 years old, checking the cashier, checking everyone out. He switched between, at least 3 or 4 languages between the different customers and got to us and spoke perfect English.
Right.
Spoke English better than I did.
Right. Yeah.
And I speak English very poorly, but yes. And I mean, he just, like it was nothing. And he kept going back and serving each customer in a different language. And I was like, it's a big deal.
It is.
I mean, it's a big deal, like for American students. And this is me putting us on blast here. Again, most American students speak English poorly.
Right. I mean, in the U.S., technically you are supposed to take a second language, but most people take it just to pass the course. They don't take it to learn the language because it's not necessarily needed here. Yep. Where in places like this, it definitely is a life skill that helps them because they have all these different cultures coming together. So I was fascinated in Strasbourg by all the different cultures and just the whole climate of that town.
And it's not only just a beautiful city, it has this long lineage and everything, but even the transportation. We took the train in. We were in Bern, Switzerland, and we took the train in, and just a quick walk away was like Petite France and all these wonderful neighborhoods. And like a good note is like our Swiss travel pass that gets you on all the trains and everything around Switzerland works well up into these like borderland regions. And so you could take the train up there and then take it back. No problem. Your Swiss pass works. So, just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Any further, I think you need a different ticket, but like all of that is just kind of, they work it all into like, they know they're getting tourists from all over the world, all over Europe, all over wherever. And so they also try to blend it in without losing themselves. I think they're very dedicated to like keeping their cultural identity alive and not just, there are some touristy stops that kind of blend and cater more toward tourists. But we went to a couple of restaurants that they were like, the people there, they were like, we're going to talk to you in either French or German. And like, we're keeping this alive and you're just going to have to figure it out. They weren't being mean.
Yeah.
They were just like, you need to figure it out. And, but they treated us nice. Although sometimes we just had to point at the thing on the menu like this.
They did hand us an English menu and we could point at it, but they weren't speaking English to us.
They weren't going to do that, But a little bit, and I'm not going to go too deep in it, but it has a very 2,000 long, years of history there. But the latest ones, right? So it was a more independent city until about 1681 when France's Louis XIV conquered the area and annexed it. It went under French control. 1871, Germany took it over during the Franco-Prussian War. So it became a part of the German Empire. Fast forward 50 years, after the end of World War I, it went back to France as a part of the Treaty of Versailles. And then there was some area in there with some guy, in the mid-1940s, we're not going to talk about all that. He tried to do some stuff, but it finally went back to France for good, has been there for the last, I'm going on 100 years. Yeah, 80 years or so. Back in France control. So, it has this blend. It is a beautiful city. We're going to talk all about it. And we're going to give you some modern places to go too. Why it matters, what you can see there. Oh, it's such a beautiful city. We're going to talk more Strasbourg, France when we come back on Scale Travel Show.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're coming to you from beautiful Sin City, Las Vegas, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Remember, for all of our past episodes, interviews, everything like that, check us out, unscaledtravelshow.com. And thank you to everyone that's new subscribers on. We always put our episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, popular podcasting platforms like that. New subscribers on both platforms, so we want to welcome you. Or if your finger just slipped and you just accidentally, you're just like, oops, sorry about that. You know, now you feel bad.
Thanks for not unsubscribing.
Thanks for not unsubscribing. And I guess I'll take the backhanded subscription, whatever. We're talking about Strasbourg, France. And it is a beautiful city. And I'll say that a number of times. And it's just not it's the best word I have. But we're going to get into.
It's not wonderful. You love that word too.
I will get into wonderful. It's really popular, and it's popular for very good reasons. And we're getting into all of that, but we're also talking about a little bit of the history of it. Now, when we planned our trip to Switzerland, you know, we were looking around, and we kind of do the same when we do our own independent like searches, and then we come together and try to plan the best we can. But you're the one who brought me Strasbourg, France. And you were like, I really want to go here. So what was it about this, or what did you see that you were just like, we got to add this to the list?
I mean, it's kind of what I was talking about earlier I was seeing it so much on social media as being this like fairy tale town that you can actually go to, and it still had that feel. And I wanted to know if it really felt like that. Like, is it one street in this whole town that looks like a fairy tale, or is the whole town still this super old architecture, which obviously it's not. I mean, you have to modernize some, but I was very excited when we went there to find I feel like Europe does a much better job of preserving its history and you find whole sections of cities and towns that are still the old architecture, so that you can really show their roots. And this was one of the cities that does that.
Which I think, you know, we are in a unique position because we do live in Las Vegas, and it is not a place that, you know, we're
not long on nostalgia.
Yes. We will do callbacks to it, and we still trot out the Rat Pack and Elvis and all of that good stuff, you know, from the 50s and 60s and all of that. But they are quick to tear down and rebuild. Whereas a lot of these, older cities, more culturally, I think, inclined cities and areas, they tried their very best to hold fast to their past.
Right.
You know, what makes them unique and stands apart. And I really enjoy that. Yes, you can go places, and a lot of cities find the Starbucks and all of that. And that helps with modern travelers, pro or con, whatever, however you feel. But a city like this, I think they keep their regions, and they're like, hey, look, they're very protective of certain areas, as they should be, and, you know, with very good reason.
And you were very wonderful in telling. See, here I'm saying
look,
it.
You're saying wonderful
I'm
now.
Saying it. But when I told you I wanted to go there, you were very supportive, and you're like, sure, let's go. And then you did your thing, and you dig into where to go, what to see, what to do, and the history. And you found some very interesting history on this city.
Strasbourg has I've said it before, it has a very long history, 2,000 years as a city. It sprang up from a Roman camp. It has literal Roman Empire ties, right? But it also has a few moments in history that are quite puzzling, including probably the most famous one, which is the Dancing Plague of 1518. Yes, it's exactly as it sounds. In 1518, dozens of people began dancing uncontrollably in Strasbourg. They wouldn't stop. Some of them even died from exhaustion. Nobody knows exactly why. Okay, but here are the facts. Okay, I'm going to go through this real quick. Beginning in July 1518, but they do have the main person. That's the funny part. In July of 1518, a young lady, I don't know if she was young, Frau Trophia, just walked out into the street. They said the accounts were she was at a stall, and she just walked out into the middle of the street, and she just started dancing. She started doing the Dougie. or the Cabbage Patch or some kind of mix. Because I say that because she didn't stop. Hours went by. Crowds started gathering. People left eventually. They went to bed. They woke up the next morning. She was still dancing. And what's weirder, as the time went on, people started joining her. They thought it was like, oh, here we go. They started doing the electric slide. They started doing all of that,
They're two-stepping.
Everybody clap your hands. And they were doing all that. They was getting jiggy on a different level, but they wouldn't stop. More and more people joined in. Within a week, dozens of people were just dancing in the middle of the streets. Now, this is in the 1518s. I'm joking around, but I don't have no idea what dancing looked like in the 1518s. I got to imagine it's like a lot of bump and grind.
I don't know.
Her reports from that time claim up to 400 people were affected.
Affected.
So
400 people were dancing. We don't know that 400 people were, I guess they were all compelled to dance, but maybe some just joined in for the hell of it.
Maybe they were shouting. Maybe they were throwing stuff. I don't know. Shorty was getting low. She had them apple bottom jeans on. She was doing her thing. All right. Contemporary records say people collapsed. They broke bones. Imagine the streets back there were, cobble and dirt and different things. And some died from exhaustion. The church, of course, people, there was some snitch who told the bishop or something, and they came down and they were like, it's demons, obviously. That was the first thing.
Absolutely.
City officials thought it was a divine punishment. And the way they wanted to combat it, they hired musicians to encourage it. Their thought was, if they had more music, they'll just get it all out of their system.
They'll dance the demons away?
I went to a church like that growing up.
I know you did.
It was an evangelical church, man. And they danced the demons right out of you. Some more modern theories on the cause, was a fungus poisoning that acts like once it gets into a human body, it acts like a hallucinogenic.
Okay.
So people were hallucinating. I don't know. They were all hallucinating at the same time because that fungus can often be found on rye bread, which would be common back then, right?
But then wouldn't it happen more? Like, this is a one-time occurrence, I'm assuming.
This is a theory. This is theory. It could have been a new record, man.
Maybe there were other dancing plagues. This was just the largest?
Maybe.
Like a flash mob? Remember when flash mobs were a thing?
Maybe it was the original flash mob. Or maybe they got a hold of Brian McKnight's CD. I don't know. Some say it was mass hysteria tied to extreme famine, religious stress, medieval superstition. So hysteria, people can oftentimes just, freak out or whatever at the same time. So they don't really have any idea of what the heck happened. But by then, you never know. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
Coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. I bet this would be a fun thing for Trent and Lisa Keenan, the folks over there at Diamondback Land Surveying, Land Surveying, to go and survey what we're going to talk about next. We already kind of mentioned it, but the Strasbourg Cathedral.
Which I did not know is actually called the Notre Dame Cathedral, correct? So
yes.
The Notre Dame that we know of in Paris is not the only one called that. I had no idea.
Yeah, and it wasn't something I learned until we were walking up on it. I'm like, oh, look at this. But yeah, officially known as the Notre Dame de Strasbourg. Most people just call it the Cathedral Strasbourg or Strasbourg Cathedral. And it isn't just massive. It's entered into the mythical status of how big it is, and just the mystery around it. And it's just like this. I mean, it is mind blowing to see in person.
You see it from blocks away as you're walking up.
Because you mentioned the Notre Dame, right? So the last time we were actually in Paris, though, the Notre Dame hadn't reopened from that horrible fire that happened a few years ago. So we saw Notre Dame from a distance, and we absolutely didn't get to go inside. No visitors were being permitted at that time. This one, I mean, we get off the train, we're walking through the city, and then just like, I mean, it was like a Disney movie. We walked down this one street, and all of a sudden it just opened up. And here is this just gigantic Gothic cathedral just rose up into the air, out of the city. And like the funny part to me was like, and then right next to it is this cheery, like little Christmas market that's happening
with the carousel next, like literally in front of the doors of the cathedral.
They got a carousel, and I kept looking up thinking Quasimodo was going to be swinging around up there. I mean, that's what it looked like.
Right.
And I mean, I had never seen a Gothic cathedral like this up close and personal. And I couldn't help, every time we were talking about something, I just kept staring back at it and just like, I can't believe this is a real thing.
Gorgeous. All the carvings in all the different archways. And it's not just one carving. Like every arch has just layers and layers and layers of carving. And it's such an impressive building that we had to look at it. We had to know more about it.
Yeah.
It says it took almost 3 centuries of work to complete.
Yeah.
3 centuries. 300 years to complete this. And it's constructed out of pink sandstone. I didn't even know pink sandstone existed until I looked this up. But it is one of those buildings that once you see it, you'll never forget about it. It's just so impressive. And it's huge.
Yeah. And of course, it's on the UNESCO World Heritage List and everything. But I mean, you mentioned the length of time. Its groundbreaking was in the year 1015. It was completed in 1439. 400 years to get this building completed.
400. Wow.
From the years 1647 to 1874, pretty modern, it was the tallest building in the world.
Wow.
Its spires reach 466 feet or 142 meters into the air. It is... I've already run out of words. It's gigantic. It's huge. It's just all of these things, but it's so awe-inspiring that really, I mean, we both of us, I mean, there was people everywhere, and you and I were definitely the tourists that stuck out because we were just standing there like
staring up at this building,
mouth agape.
Yeah.
It's just staring at this building,
which
man.
It's free to get into, but we were not able to go inside because the line wrapped around the building to get inside it. But when we started looking up things about the building, it has some interesting features. And that's, aside from the architecture, there are some other things in there that people wait in line to see.
So weirdly enough, it's asymmetrical by design. Only one spire was finished, supposedly, to show humility to God. Like they could keep building, but they didn't want to try to show God up because, Tower of Babel and all that stuff, man. You know what he does. But once inside, the astronomical clock. That's what it's called. The astronomical clock was built. There's actually been 3 clocks, okay? But the latest one was built in 1843. It shows planetary motion, has a calendar, all kind of stuff, and even a robot Jesus and apostles.
Yeah.
Well, so robot might be the
You told me
word.
Robot Jesus, and I was like, what? But it's really, to me, when I look at this, it's more like a massive version of a cuckoo clock when it has the thing that rotates that comes out and like goes around.
Yeah, it does.
Because it has 2 layers of that, and one is supposed to show the different ages of life. You have a child, a teenager, and an adult, and an older person.
Yeah.
And then above that is the apostles on parade in front of Christ.
Yeah.
But people... So it's free to get into the cathedral, but you can pay like €4 to line up directly in front of the clock to see it up close and personal. but it only does this once a day at like 12:30 noonish time.
Yeah.
And they only allow people to start lining up at 11:30. So if you're going, you have to get in line early so that you get there and you get your spot in front of the astronomical clock.
Yeah. What's crazy, I mean, we mentioned it has the planetary lines and everything. It has a display of the real position of the sun at all times and the moon and the solar and lunar eclipses all built into this one clock. And it is, I mean, it itself is crazy to witness firsthand. And then like the spire, you can, I think you pay just a few euro and you can climb the 330 steps for panoramic views of the city. But I'm telling you, if you go to Strasbourg, which you should, that is the main thing. That's the first thing you should go run to. Get in line early. Get it taken care of because, after a couple of bratwursts or something like that, you're not going to want to climb those stairs.
Right.
No, that's silly.
Just quick note, it is a place of worship. There is a dress code like a lot of cathedrals have. So just check out the website if you plan to go. Make sure you're dressed appropriately.
Don't be wearing no hoochie dress or them cut off shorts. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-host, Amy.
Hello.
We are talking about Strasbourg, France, because why not? It's an amazing place.
France/Germany/France.
/Alsace / other stuff. Great for Christmas market exploration. And a little bit later, we'll talk about some of the areas outside. We went around Christmas time, experienced an amazing Christmas market, probably one of the best ones we've ever been to. But a lot of other cities also along that region, along that same train route. So you won't even have to get off the main train routes or anything if you're exploring that region and really get your fill of, I know Christmas markets, especially like TikTok and Instagram around that season, it's really, really popular. So if you're going for that, we're going to give you some other places you can hit as well.
But this time of year, it's super popular too because all the flowers are blooming.
Yeah.
It just has this kind of
just
magical feeling. Yeah. I would love to go back right now and just spend time wandering up and down the streets.
Is this one of the regions The Sound of Music?
That's the Swiss Alps.
Is that Swiss Alps?
Yeah.
Well,
Which
whatever.
we were there too, but not this place.
That whole area is just beautiful, man. I mean, I understand why Julie Andrews was running through fields and doing all that. You do. You want to sing when you get there. I wanted to sing.
You want to hold your arms out and spin around?
I want to spin around. Unfortunately, I chose a Nickelback song, so I was immediately pelted by Rotten Tomatoes. But you choose said your own safety there. They also have the city has a really wonderful history. Let's see, there you go, wonderful. Has a wonderful history with wine and medicine and how they kind of intersect. And they still have raging parties that go on underground in ancient wine cellars. Now, remember, the city is very, very old. And back in the day, they stored wine underground, much like they do now. Wine cellars, everything, keeping wine barrels and everything going. But beneath Strasbourg has this whole subculture of wine for wine enthusiasts and party goers and things like that. And you can still take part in it.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it just one big cellar or a bunch of cellars connected by
I don't think they're connected, but there is just a ton of wine cellars kept underground. In a 2,000-year-old city, you're bound to have something under there. So like Paris, for some reason, keeps catacombs and skulls. Strasbourg says, we're just going to keep our wine down there. One of the most famous one is the historic wine cellar of the Strasbourg hospices.
Okay.
So this was built in 1395 under the city's hospital at the time. They kept wine down there. They had medicinal blends of wine. They used to treat different diseases with wines. Some were stronger, you could pour on wounds or give to ailing people, things like that. They used this sometimes to pay doctors. When money, gold, silver, whatever was tight, they'd be like, man, why don't you go take you a barrel of wine and like do that?
Would you want to get paid in alcohol?
I do now. What do you think I get paid for this show?
So many doctors are getting paid in wine that they're built a wine cellar under the hospital.
A wine cellar. I mean, some people get paid in Trident gum. That shows how old I am. Those stupid commercials. But yeah, the wine cellar is still alive and active today. It's not used for the same purpose. It doesn't pay. You don't pay doctors with wine. It is. I mean, it's been around for more than 600 years, and I think now it says. In 1997, 30 Alsace wine producers managed to join forces and save the cellar from, I guess they were going to finally do away with it or whatever.
Wow.
So you can go down there. It's a membership thing. You can book parties. You can do all kinds of stuff in this incredible wine cellar that I really need to go see.
It says that they have barrels that still have wine in them from the 1400s.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, I don't know a lot about wine, but at what point does wine go bad? Because from the 1400s?
Yeah. Was that a Jesus wine? Did he come in there and like...
It says you can still purchase hospital-aged wines. Okay. I don't know, but okay. Interesting.
I think I saw a report not too long ago where they found some ancient wines in like Israel or something like that in an ancient burial site. And they opened it up. And like some of the clay pots still had wine in them, and they were hundreds of years old, and they drank it. Like they were.
Did they die?
No, but the mummy came back.
We've seen that movie.
Where's Brendan Fraser when you need him? He's out making movies still, I guess. But you keep him on standby.
Please do.
That's where that's how you get ancient curses.
Yes,
that's where
absolutely.
all that comes from.
I completely agree with that.
So no, well, you keep that wine from 1472 in the barrel.
Don't drink it.
Yeah, just keep it over there for looks, and then
But you can totally have a party down there, which sounds like spooky but fun at the same time.
I would think an area that has been a hospital, and probably a hospice and a morgue.
It's
probably
haunted.
at different.
100%, it's haunted.
I'm not going to say it's haunted.
Oh, I will say it's haunted.
But it's definitely haunted.
For sure. So you said it was kind of like there were other cellars though where people had like secret parties, almost like speakeasies, I guess, from the Prohibition era here.
Yeah. A lot of them, like students in the area know of underground party scenes. So they're not always advertised, but you can on occasion when you're walking by, see flyers for different student cafes like the Phoenix and different cafes around the city, and it's only like a 1 day, 2 day before the party notice, like we're gonna be here, but don't tell anybody.
So they're doing raves in caves.
That's exactly it. They're doing raves in caves
with old wine.
So they do have
Are
things
they hallucinating? Wait, is this a new dancing plague thing?
Yeah.
Is Frau whoever going to just come out and start dancing?
Oh, girl, she come out there. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
And the government's just like, give them more instruments. Let's see what happens.
It says you can ask bartenders. They'll either know or they'll pretend not to know. And then if you're cool, bro, like, are you cool? Like, we might let you in. I wonder if they let me in.
No.
I don't think so. It's on Scale Travel Show.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unskilled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're talking all about Strasbourg, France. A little bit of history, a little bit of fun with, underground wine, raves in the caves.
Dancing plagues.
Dancing plagues. All of it. Giant Gothic cathedrals. Man, this place has it all.
Robot Jesus.
Robot Jesus. Christmas markets. This place has everything. And we're not even to the best parts, right? One of the most popular stops is the very tourist-friendly part of Strasbourg called La Petite France. Petite France. Small France, right? Is that what it means?
I guess.
Is that what petite means?
Yes.
Well, they have petite sections of clothing.
Yes, it means short in clothing, but petite typically does mean small.
Okay. All right.
Small or little.
Little France.
This is usually when you see pictures of Strasbourg, it is from the Petite France area of the town. Because this is the older part of the town. It still has that, the timbered houses, which kind of more German in architecture, the cobblestone streets, the canals between the streets. So a lot of the pictures are from this region. And like the buildings are different colors and the streets kind of all curve. It's not just a straight up and down little street. It feels special when you're there. I don't know another way to put it.
The whole area is walkable. It's closed off from vehicles, except for like delivery vehicles and stuff like that. But it is a UNESCO listed quarter, just like a same area as the cathedral and kind of their town center. Mm-hmm. A lot of events will happen in and around this area because it kind of does sit in the middle part of the city. I mean, the city is pretty big. The city has about 300,000 or 400,000 people that live in it. So there are areas of the city where it's just like, regular neighborhoods or whatever. But this part of the city is, it's just a couple of minutes walk from the main train station. So if you go there, you get right off. It was maybe 5 minutes or so, maybe
Less
10.
than 10. Less than 10, yeah.
But it is that, I'm just reading, historically, it had a tannery and a mill district with a syphilis hospital nicknamed Petite France. So the syphilis hospital, which was a real problem back then. It's a problem now, mainly in the South Beach area. But it was nicknamed Petite France. So all kinds of stuff. But we went there and we went to, that's probably where we had our most classic and least delicious meal ever.
Yeah, I hate to say it.
I hate to say that, but there's no other way to put it.
Yeah, it was a very traditional meal to that area, which in American terms, it was basically a stew, but it had zero seasoning. It was just meat and potato and carrots in a broth. But I don't know. I expected it to be something else, maybe.
The broth could have been canal water. It had no flavor.
No flavor at all.
It's called Bake Off.
You went and took salt and pepper off of a side cabinet and people were staring at you because nobody else was using salt and pepper. And apparently in this part of the world, they don't really believe in customer service. So they just bring you your food and then they don't come back for like an hour or two.
I don't believe in customer service.
So you had to go hunt down salt and pepper and the people were watching you.
You would have thought that I was hunting down the kids from The Sound of Music, which actually took place where?
In Austria,
there
the Austrian Alps, not the Swiss.
You would think that I was hunting them down. The way that people stared at me when I got up and got salt and pepper off of a different table.
Right.
And when we were putting it, people were just staring. They were
those Americans.
Those small, dumb Americans, those petite Americans over there.
But we wanted to try traditional food. I wanted I
Yeah.
wanted to know what is like this area famous for, and this was the dish that they're famous for. This restaurant has been there for like hundreds of years making this dish, and I was disappointed.
And I think the restaurant is called Bake Off. It's something
Yes.
Bake Off restaurant or whatever. It's like I said, it's very simple. It's just like meat and potatoes and carrots or whatever vegetables apparently they just have lying around. And then they cook it all day. So it's very tender.
Yeah.
It is, and also very disappointing.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it at that.
You also got their apple tart flambe, which I thought was going to be a dessert. was not a dessert.
It was not list. Okay, look, I saw dessert and I was like, I know this word. I know apple and I know flambe. And I'm like, okay, it's like an apple tart or something like that. It's a dessert of some sort. Mm-hmm. And so I ordered one and the guy kind of looked at me. I remember the look that our waiter gave us. And I was like, I think I messed up instantly.
Because we ordered both together.
And he was like, okay, he wasn't going to correct me. He brought out, how do you describe this thing?
It was a giant flatbread. It was a flatbread pizza.
It was huge.
It was like 2 feet long, which for people not on the American measurement system, it was almost a meter long. It's bread and some kind of cream sauce and then just apples.
Like slices of apple.
Yeah.
Like thin slices of apple. So, not only were people staring because I got the salt and pepper, then when they trotted this thing out, like I ordered a birthday meal, I thought they were going to start singing to me, happy birthday, that song or whatever. And people were staring at the fat American. We got a Bake Off that we're poking at. And then we have this giant 2-foot apple tart thing.
Apple pizza.
It was a flatbread apple pizza. And then
again, no seasoning. In America, we would put some sugar and some cinnamon, some nutmeg on it, something. No seasoning.
It makes me wonder what that sauce was on top of that pizza.
It was some kind of cream.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Have.
I don't like that.
If you have dairy issues, don't get that.
Which I did. But I didn't want to leave it. I didn't want to be like...
I didn't like it, but I made myself eat it.
I didn't want to reinforce the stereotype of like wasteful American guy.
No, because we were the only, and where we were sitting, we were the only Americans. I'm sure other Americans were in the space, but we were surrounded by Europeans.
I know it sounds like we're projecting. I know it does.
But
and maybe we were.
The couple next to us were watching us.
They were watching us the entire time. That table of people right in front of us.
The big family.
Yeah. And they all turned. There's like 8 of them. And they were all just watching me. And they wanted to see what I was going to do with this apple tart thing. Like I was just going to fold it in half, unhinge my jaw, and just swallow this thing up.
This restaurant, the tables are so close together. We might as well have been having dinner with the people next to us.
It should have.
Because even the waiter couldn't fit between the 2 tables.
Yeah.
Like my elbow was hitting the elbow of the guy next to me.
I should have just offered pieces to people around me. That's what I should have done instead of trying to eat that thing with a stomach who does not enjoy dairy at all. I don't know how to describe that. You especially don't want to hear what happened afterwards.
No, but yeah, other than that, Petite France, lovely. But there are other parts of the city.
This is a
there
resounding...
are other parts of the city that you should visit.
Yelp.
No.
5 stars.
What's the name of the kind of artsy bohemian neighborhood?
Krutenau.
Okay, because I can't say that. But yeah.
And that's probably wrong. But Krutenau is also another neighborhood. If you don't want to do Petite France or you've already done it, Krutenau is artsy. It's bohemian. It has bookstores, record shops, vintage stores, wine bars, different things like that. And Neustadt was built more during the German rule in the 18th century. It has wide streets, Prussian-style buildings, cafes where you're more than encouraged to get a drink and just sit and people watch. You hang out there, different things like that. So there are all kinds of alternative neighborhoods, too, if you don't want to do Petite France off of that resounding...
glowing recommendation.
There you go. Unscaled Travel Show.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unskilled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Check us out, unscaled.travelshow.com. All of our past episodes. We really appreciate it. If you stuck around through that, then you deserve a pat on the head. Thanks. Thanks for not unsubscribing. We're talking about Strasbourg, France. Wonderful place to visit. Wonderful. There you go.
Wonderful.
Organic. We've talked about all the different like history and wine cultures and underground wine cultures and all kinds of stuff dealing with Strasbourg to hopefully pique your interest in it. If you haven't already, and maybe if you're big on like the travel scenes on Instagram, TikTok, we've mentioned, you've probably come across videos of Strasbourg, especially during Christmas. Strasbourg during Christmas becomes basically pure holiday magic. Okay. And we got to experience that. We got to go there with a specific purpose. Like we're traveling to this area during Christmas time. We wanted, we were chasing Christmas markets at that point. And this was one that popped up on the list because apparently this is oftentimes mentioned as the top one or two Christmas markets, not only in that area, but the entire world.
Yeah, I think part of it is because it is right there around the cathedral. Like it's just such an incredible setting. But this Christmas market is also very spread out. So you'll be walking, you'll think it's done, and then it just goes around another street. There's more stalls, there's more vendors. It was huge. For the longest time, I mean, we were on that one side with the carousel that we mentioned. And we were over there in Santa Claus, and they had a train and all kinds of stuff. And like we were getting ready to leave, and we were just kind of walking around the cathedral looking at it. And we didn't even realize on the other side was like a complete other thing going on. It just kept going. More and more stalls and vendors, like different streets. And like you said, this whole section is closed to traffic. Like parts of it are closed to traffic. So it's just people walking everywhere from one stall to another. But I had seen multiple people posting that this is their favorite Christmas market they had ever gone to. Yeah. So when you said, let's go to Switzerland and see some Christmas markets, I was like, let's also get on a train and go to France and see this other Christmas market. Yeah. And I'm so glad that we did it.
Yeah. I mean, it is without a doubt. I mean, right up there with the one in Zurich that's right outside the Opera House. That was so gorgeous. Yes. This one, again, I think the setting with the backdrop of this, I mean, you have this Christmas setting. And by the way, Europe, they really love American Christmas music.
They do.
I don't know how many times I heard Mariah Carey, but Lord Almighty, if I never hear it again,
That and the Wham Christmas song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they love that. We heard that so many times. But yes, Mariah Carey, I mean, and everybody... Remember, we were even in Germany, and the couple next to us are talking in German, and the Mariah Carey comes on, and she just switches from speaking German to singing English perfectly, and we both
they were all singing.
Everybody's singing.
They were singing it perfect. I was like, dude, this really is like, it's crazy. The Christmas songs and music and everything that it brings it alive, right? And then just the backdrop of this gigantic Gothic World Heritage site behind it. It's this, I don't know, what's that word? Juxtaposition? I can't say that word.
Juxtaposition?
There you go. I knew you knew how to say that. I didn't know. Obviously, it's too late in this show. I do get paid in alcohol, by the way. But it usually runs at Christmas.
Hospital alcohol?
Yeah. Underground hospital alcohol.
Syphilis hospital alcohol?
It usually runs from late November to Christmas. their website for this says it has over 300 wooden stalls. It felt like way more than that.
Yeah,
it honestly felt like way more than 300 stalls. But even if it is right at a little over 300, it's huge. Mm-hmm. It is a huge Christmas market. I was surprised I saw Santa Claus, honestly.
They don't necessarily call him Santa Claus. They call him other things.
But he was sponsored by like a VFW hall or something.
I was going to say like by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, like it was one of those. And they had like the train and everything. And I was standing there and I was taking pictures of everything as one is wont to do, especially in this business. And he looked over at me in between kids because I think he was thinking like I was trying to creep up and like sit on his lap or something. And he smiled at me and I was like, "Oh, Santa." And I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He was like, "Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you?" And I was like, "What?"
Perfect English.
I was like, "Where are you from? Southern California?" Yeah. But so Santa was out there. The kids were in line for it, and also they had a train that you could ride, and the kids were. It was just such a wonderful place, and then apparently they have all these wooden stalls that are really famous for the things that they sell.
Yeah, they have a lot of stalls that sold Christmas ornaments. They had some that sold like clocks and things like that. But like you could tell the stalls that were there every year because the people would be lined up in front of those stalls. Like I come to this stall every single year to get something. It was really neat because especially for us, we grew up in a town that does festivals and yes, Vegas has festivals, but it's not the same. It's like that small town festival feel. And even though Strasbourg is a pretty big city, it felt like a small town festival.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was so happy to be there. I just wanted to wander around all day. Well, catch the next train.
When you get there, they have a number of food items you got to try. I can't say it. I think it's Bridelis, but it's their Alsatian cookies, specialized from that area. A lot again, like kind of going back to the lineage. A lot of these families, they can trace their lineage back throughout the city and the time around there for, at least 1,000 years, which is crazy to me, right? Because I can't trace mine back like 2 generations. But also...
That's a different story.
No, that's a sad story. But also things like the mulled wine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we tried that.
We did try that.
We did. What do you think of the mulled wine?
Yeah.
Number one, like I got a third-degree burn on my mouth.
It was very hot.
Because even though the lady told me...
She told you it was hot, and apparently you didn't believe her, or your ear-to-brain function wasn't working.
It wasn't catching up. I burned the mess out of my mouth and had to keep a straight face, and it was like liquid lava.
She was trying not to laugh at you.
Yeah, she tried not to laugh at me, and I didn't want to cry in front of Europeans. As an American, I can't do that. Got to hold strong.
But it was hot. It was like the cup was hot. It was burning our hands.
It burns everything.
Like they gave us boiling mulled wine.
It still burns. It still burns now. I have a hole.
My thought was the one we got, and I assume everybody. This is one of those things like everybody has their own recipe. They all make it a little bit different. This particular one had a lot of lemon in it.
Oh man, it was so lemony.
It was a very, very lemony. So I didn't enjoy this particular one.
I'll say this.
But we went to a different Christmas market, got
tried
some other,
and it was different.
It was totally different.
I'll say this. I haven't been sick since then.
It killed everything.
It killed every bacteria in my body.
It was that or
I've been super healthy.
The apple tart flambe thing.
Yeah. Again, try the tart flambe. If you didn't hear my recommendation of it earlier, try the tart flambe.
Carry some Imodium pills in your pocket.
You'll have to carry the tart flambe with a friend. I mean, you guys can just eat.
Huge. It's like the size of a pillow.
You lay your head on it after you drink the mulled wine. They also have a really tasty, spicy gingerbread from that region that they were selling almost every other stall.
Yeah.
And every other stall was lined with people getting this gingerbread. So really, really good stuff. Some tips that we can give you since we've been. Try your very best to avoid weekends. That's when, most locals are probably going to come out. People from the region are going to come out. Mm-hmm. So, weekdays and early evenings are ideal, even though it was still crowded. So I can only imagine being there on like a Friday night or Saturday, a weekend, and trying to deal with the crowds.
Yeah, I mean, the market opened fairly early. It was around lunchtime, and it was opening. Not all the stalls were open, but
the carousel was going.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stalls were open. Although as the evening goes on, you get more and more. Dress warm, because it was warm during the daytime, and as soon as the sun went behind the giant Gothic cathedral, I mean, it dropped considerably chilly as far as temperature.
Yeah.
Bring cash. Remember euros over there, and just be smart about it, and book a hotel if you're staying in that area. Book it early. 6 months out probably isn't long enough, because it is one of the best in the world. Thank you for joining us. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We hope you had fun. We'll see you guys next time.